75,000 years ago. A bone-chilling night on the Zagros Mountains. The wind howled through desolate canyons. Snow blanketed the jagged peaks. Beneath the pitch-black sky, two species stood face to face. Homo sapiens, wanderers from the south, armed with sharp intellect, advanced weapons, and an unyielding drive to conquer. Neanderthals, ancient warriors, massive and unyielding as carved stone, who had ruled these lands for hundreds of thousands of years. This encounter should have had only one outcome, a battle to the death. Homo sapiens should have wiped out their stronger rivals to claim new territory. Neanderthals should have crushed the intruders before they could take root. But this time, something different happened. There were no war cries, no bloodied spears. Instead of destruction, there was fusion. For the first time in human history, two species communicated through something older than violence, an instinctive connection. Their bloodlines intertwined, creating a hybrid generation unlike any before. These children carried the intelligence and cunning of sapiens, fused with the raw strength and endurance of Neanderthals. They did not just survive, they thrived. They became the first beings capable of conquering the frozen lands that neither of their parent species could dominate alone. And yet, they disappeared. Or did they? If Neanderthals truly went extinct, why does their blood still flow within us? Were the children of Zagros ever truly forgotten? If they still exist, where are they now? The Zagros Mountains, a colossal wall of stone stretching over 1,500 kilometers, blocking the path northward, a natural barrier, yet also a gateway to an unfamiliar world. Homo sapiens, after leaving Africa around 70,000 to 80,000 years ago, reached this very threshold. They had no idea that on the other side, there were those who had ruled this land for hundreds of thousands of years. Neanderthals, the warriors of the Ice Age, larger, stronger, with powerful muscles and 30% heavier bones than Homo sapiens. They had survived through endless winters, where the cold could kill any creature that was not strong. On the cliffs of Zagros, they hunted, endured, and thrived for over 400,000 years, before Homo sapiens ever arrived. Two species, two separate evolutionary paths. But if they could interbreed, were Neanderthals truly a different species? According to biological definition, if two creatures can produce fertile offspring, they belong to the same species. This raises a profound question. Were Neanderthals really a separate species, or merely a divergent branch of Homo sapiens? Both had a common ancestor from around 800,000 years ago. But while Homo sapiens evolved with flexible thinking and adaptability, Neanderthals became survival machines, perfectly suited for extreme conditions. The meeting at Zagros was not just a battle for territory. It was not the extinction of one species by another. It was the fusion of two bloodlines, two cultures. No one knows exactly what happened on those long nights in the mountains. But one thing is certain. A new generation was born, a generation with the strength of Neanderthals and the intellect of sapiens, a generation that would change the fate of humankind. But if they once existed, where are they now? When scientists unraveled the genome of modern humans, they uncovered an undeniable truth. 1 to 2% of our DNA comes from Neanderthals. It seems like an insignificant number, yet it marks the traces of an unprecedented event in evolutionary history. At some point, Homo sapiens and Neanderthals did not just fight, they interbred. But what's even more shocking, at one point, up to 20% of the Homo sapiens genome had Neanderthal origins. Over time, most of it was lost, but the remnants still shape how we live, adapt, and even influence the personalities of modern humans. Why did Homo sapiens interbreed with Neanderthals? There is no simple answer. Some scientists believe it was a survival strategy. As Homo sapiens entered the frozen lands of the Neanderthals, they had no choice but to mix in order to endure. Hybrid children might have had advantages over both pure-blood species. But another theory suggests this was more than just biological survival. It was a cultural fusion. Homo sapiens brought complex language, advanced tools, and organized society. But Neanderthals possessed something sapiens never had: immense strength, resilience against the cold, and survival instincts honed over hundreds of thousands of years. Perhaps, instead of pure conflict, they learned from one another. Sapiens may have taught Neanderthals better social structures, while Neanderthals taught sapiens how to endure the brutal Ice Age environment. Two species, two strengths. Homo sapiens and Neanderthals were not the same. Neanderthals were the wild warriors of the Ice Age, with 30% denser bones, superior muscle strength, and exceptional cold resistance thanks to MC1R and LEPR gene variants, which helped maintain body heat in freezing climates. Their brains were larger, allowing them to navigate their rugged world. Meanwhile, Homo sapiens were the conquerors, sharper, more agile, with superior endurance and the FOXP2 gene, which enabled the development of complex speech and communication. Their tools far surpassed those of Neanderthals. The sophisticated orignation weapons allowed them to hunt from a distance, unlike Neanderthals, who relied on brute force and Mousterian tools in close-range combat. When these bloodlines merged, they didn't just create a new generation, they forged a new kind of human. A 2016 study in the American Journal of Human Genetics revealed that Neanderthal genes still influence our immune system today, helping humans fight ancient viruses. However, this genetic inheritance also comes with a cost. Some autoimmune diseases, such as allergies and dermatitis, may be linked to Neanderthal DNA. But if they were so powerful, why did they disappear? If this hybrid generation was so strong, why do we only retain 1 to 2% Neanderthal DNA today? Did they fail to adapt to a changing climate? Did Homo sapiens, with their overwhelming numbers, slowly absorb them through assimilation? Or did they never truly vanish at all? Perhaps they did not go extinct, but instead melted into the river of history, living on within us in ways we have yet to fully understand. Were the children of Zagros truly lost? Or do they still exist within our very blood? When Homo sapiens and Neanderthals interbred, the birth of the children of Zagros, they did not merely inherit the sharp intellect of sapiens. They also possessed the raw physical power of Neanderthals. This unique blend created a hybrid group with an evolutionary advantage, allowing them not only to survive, but to thrive in the unforgiving Ice Age world. With enhanced endurance, they could travel farther across frozen landscapes where purebred Homo sapiens would struggle to survive. Genetic research indicates that Neanderthal LEPR variants help them metabolize fat more efficiently, forming an insulating layer crucial for survival in sub-zero climates. The children of Zagros weren't just physically formidable, they were superior hunters. From Neanderthals, they inherited brutal ambush tactics, the same methods used to take down mammoths and woolly rhinos with primitive weapons. From Homo sapiens, they gained strategic tracking skills, allowing them to pursue prey for days until exhaustion claimed their target. This fusion made them the ultimate predators, able to combine both hunting techniques for maximum efficiency. Archaeological studies reveal a mixing of tool-making traditions during this period. Neanderthals relied on Mousterian tools, simpler, heavier weapons suited for close combat. Homo sapiens developed orignation weapons, advanced tools with bone-tipped spears and sharper cutting blades for ranged attacks. The combination of these technologies gave the children of Zagros a decisive advantage in both survival and warfare. But their advantage did not just allow them to endure. It allowed them to expand. As the climate changed, the children of Zagros spread across Eurasia, gradually replacing pure Neanderthals. Genetic evidence shows a declining percentage of Neanderthal DNA in later populations, suggesting widespread interbreeding, which ultimately led to the absorption of Neanderthals into the emerging hybrid population. But the story didn't end there. Around 50,000 years ago, as they moved eastward, the children of Zagros met another mysterious human species, Denisovans. Unlike Neanderthals, Denisovans remain an enigma. They primarily inhabited Siberia and the Tibetan Plateau, possessing extraordinary adaptations to high-altitude survival. Genetic studies reveal that Denisovans carried the EPES1 gene, which enhanced their ability to survive in low-oxygen environments, a trait still present in modern Tibetans and Sherpas today. When the children of Zagros interbred with Denisovans, they formed a multi-lineage superhybrid, possessing Neanderthal strength, Homo sapiens intelligence and adaptability, Denisovan altitude endurance. A new kind of human was emerging. If they were so powerful, why did they disappear? If this hybrid lineage was so strong, why don't they exist today? The answer lies in the way Homo sapiens conquered the world. Neanderthals were not wiped out by war or disease. They were absorbed. The hybrid children had higher survival rates, gradually leading to the decline of pure Neanderthals. In reality, Neanderthals never had a population exceeding 70,000, while Homo sapiens reproduced at a much higher rate. Within a few thousand years, Neanderthals were no longer a distinct species, not because of violence, but because of genetic assimilation. If you have European or Asian ancestry, 1 to 2% of your DNA comes from Neanderthals. When you tolerate cold better, have stronger muscles, or even possess a broad nose, a low forehead, or angular facial features, these could be the echoes of a Neanderthal warrior from 40,000 years ago. Perhaps they never truly disappeared. They still live on in us, passed down through thousands of generations. And if they were never truly extinct, could science one day bring them back from the past?